Stamp your feet and welcome Mr. William Andrews, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's William Andrews. I'm here tonight as part of the New Deal for Comedians, as set out by a European initiative. Imagine. Imagine, comedy is like your house. You currently live in the House of Mirth. There has been a laugh party going on in your house. You've stepped outside to get a little bit of air. On returning to the house, you found yourself locked out. As a comedian, I have to break into your house. Using jokes which I've got written. You may have noticed that so far what I've done has been relatively lackluster. There is a common technique often employed by successful comedians is the use of music to guide people. When I come on, there was no music playing, so I'm going to go off again, and Helen over there is going to play us some music when I come back on, and I think you'll notice a real sea change in the level of humour. Sorry, the sort of music the comedian the sort of music the comedian plays at the beginning of their set will set up in the audience's mind the sort of comedy they're likely to expect. Track number 1, Helen! Welcome to the Comedy Store! I've got another one. Track number 2, Helen! Track number 2, Helen! Fuck off! Turn that shit off, you crap technician, you're not. Don't... George Bush is a cunt, was a cunt, and... We are now in the Comedy House. Sorry, going on about houses. Any homeless in? Just imagine. Imagine it's your house. I'll do. I went into a bank, checked my balance, stood on one leg. Seemed all right. Shit, that one's a shit. I've got water as well, because that's what proper comedians have, a glass of water. They come on stage with a drink, because basically what happens is I tell such a funny joke while you're all laughing. I just have time for a little bit of a drink. I'm going to university to do a postgraduate in He-Man studies. It's a Masters of the Universe. I'm not even thirsty. I do music jokes as well with the little MP3 player. Looks like a robot's eye. That's not that funny. What's quite funny though is me and Alistair, your compare, were backstage playing pool with those dogs. You know the dogs. You've seen the paintings of the dogs. Me and Alistair playing pool with the dogs. You know the dogs. You've seen the dogs. Me and Alistair playing American pool with the dogs. Bull Terrier and the Mastiff just have a game of pool with the dogs. You know, we were drinking pints there. They're drinking water out of bowls. They eat biscuits shaped like bones. They know they're not bones, but they play along. In comes the robot going, Will, give me back my electronic eye. The Bull Terrier got hell of a fright, accidentally potted the black, so we won by default, but I don't see it as a victory.
I believe in miracles.
Because I'm a Christian. I'm not.
Well, since my baby left me,
I've lost weight, can't sleep. Keep having sex with people I don't even like.
Mr. Sandman.
I'd like to order some sand. Fucking rotten, that one. So they've gone into receivership. It's not a reasonable way to run a business. Probably an appropriate time to tell you about a friend of mine. When she was 17, she was diagnosed as being a schizophrenic. By the time she was 18, she had chronic alcoholism. A combination of a mental illness and her addiction to alcohol meant she fell through the gaps in the British care system and started living on the street. So
That's why the lady. That's why the lady. That's why the lady is a tramp.
Schizophrenia, a film about people who've got two mopeds. Hey? Quite a quadriplegia about a mod in a wheelchair. Went to see Stephen Hawkins do a gig the other night. He was shit. He was unplugged. Am I right? If God's everywhere, I came in his face this morning. I don't. I thought I'd play you something. I'm into this thing. Are you all right? Has anyone heard of a guy called Mr. Rogers? Any Americans? There's a guy called Mr. Rogers. He was a children's TV personality in the States. And you've heard of Mr. Rogers? He's a good guy. Worked sort of the 60s and the 70s. This is one of his albums, many albums, called Mr. Rogers Knows That You Are Special. Mr. Rogers knows that you are special. It's got a little bit of a sort of silver foil, so the child looks up at the record, sees a reflection of themselves, and knows that Mr. Rogers thinks that they are special, albeit a little bit distorted, so in many ways, special, many ways. Now, there's something odd about Mr. Rogers. That's Mr. Rogers there. That's not, it's a picture of Mr. Rogers. That's Mr. Rogers. There's nothing strange about Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers had a glittering career, but unfortunately, Mr. Rogers is, well, he's the creepiest sounding cunt I've ever heard.
It's great to make up word sounds for yourself, isn't it?
Yes.
There are so many sounds in the world.
I agree.
The more you play with sounds, the better you can hear a lot of different ones around you.
He has a point.
See if you can guess what this sound is.
Okay.
Does it sound like a whistle to you?
Yeah.
Could you make a sound like that? Fine. Now, what do you think this sound is? What kind of a bug do you suppose makes a sound like that?
A big one?
Can you buzz like that too? Now, does this sound like something you've heard before?
Abandonment?
Now let's hear the car come back.
Okay.
And the grown-up get out. And the child hug the grown-up.
Again, why?
Hugs don't sound much, do they? But kisses do. Could you make a kissing sound? I'll make one too. Here's a kiss that's just for you.
So there's that guy. Anyone heard of this guy? This is Ed Stewpot, famous in this country for Cracker Jack. This is his album, Stewpot's Pop Party. Let's play a little bit of this. This should cheer us up.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
And welcome to Stewpot's Pop Party. From now till the end of side 2, it's party time.
Cool.
Yes, real party time, and lots of
Nice.
your favourites to sing and dance to, and a couple of party games, and a dancing contest. And if Mum and Dad are really feeling generous, perhaps a couple of prizes for the best girl and the best boy dancers.
Nice.
Well, who likes Gary Glitter?
Nobody